So the first episode airs, and it's like, okay, how's this going to go? Are they going to pull this off? And you know what? They did. They really did. We get a quick origin. So fast, you blink, you miss it. Though the highlight is seeing him in a comic-accurate first appearance suit, and, you know, the kid going, oh, nice suit. Oh, thanks, my mom made it for me. That's just so wholesome. It's Superman. In the comic, Superman has one son, that's Jonathan, who is Superboy. Here he has two kids, John and Jordan. They're twins. Unlike the comics, when Jonathan has the powers, it's Jordan. It's quite interesting to them to do like a kind of a complete 180. They give the other one the powers instead of the one from the comics. We also meet the main villain, the big bad. He's just a dude in a like giant suit of armor, and he stabs Superman with some kryptonite. It's like, what? But the big reveal at the end of the episode was he's Captain Luthor. Now that's interesting because we have a Lex Luthor in the Arrowverse, played by John Cryer, and honestly, he has been fantastic. I think he's actually been the best Lex Luthor, live-action Lex Luthor we've ever had. He plays the character to a T. Now who is this Captain Luthor? So we learn right away why this guy in armor, this Captain Luthor, hates Superman. Turns out he destroyed his world. And in the flashback sequence we see black suit Superman, heat visioning, laser visioning, whatever, like a whole line of soldiers straight up murdering them. We also learn in this episode that Jordan only has a fraction of the powers that Clark does. That's also a huge stray from the comics, because John is pretty much even though he's only half Kryptonian, he's pretty equal in terms of power to his father. One thing that happened that always annoys the fuck out of me, whether it be movies or TV or video game cutscenes, whatever, is people shooting suits of armor. Unless you're going to shoot the guy with a goddamn rocket launcher or bazooka or a tank or whatever, your bullets are just going to bounce off, bro. Ooh, fun family time, yay! Oh, but it's interrupted by being Superman. One of the things I really like about this show so far is that it shows Superman as a hero to the world. Not just to the United States, not just to America. The overall big thing with this episode was family drama. And, you know, honestly, I know the show is called Superman and Lois, but, you know, in terms of character-wise, Superman's the big character. Superman's the superhero. But so far, I am much more interested in Lois's part of the story than I am Superman's. Give me Lois, Bitsy Tulloch, Elizabeth Tulloch, whatever she wants to call herself. She's fantastic as Lois Lane. I want to see more of her, because even though they are doing Superman right, Lois is the more interesting character right now. Yay, Jordan's a star. He's popular now. He hasn't been anxious or depressed recently. He's happy now. So that's great. That's actually is kind of awesome. That's character development. That's a good thing. We're introduced to Thaddeus Kilgrave for the first time, and he's the villain of the week. Great. Alright, this episode, there's a lot of, like, moody teenage shit. You got John getting drunk because he's all depressed that his brother's popular and his girlfriend dumped him, and John, he gets the friend zone with Sarah, and, oh, poor them. They're teenagers. They gotta go through life. Welcome to the real world. How long has it been between episodes 5 and 6? I lost all my damn hair. Alright, after a ridiculously long break, Superman and Lois is back, and honestly, it's probably the best show on the CW, in the Arrowverse. At the end of the day, Superman and Lois is without a shadow of a doubt the best DC show on television. And this episode continues to prove that with a pretty cool train sequence. You got Jordan training, but also freaking the fuck out because he doesn't know what the hell's going on with his powers. Clark doesn't know. Lois doesn't know. Nobody knows. I mean, he has like a fucking seizure at the end of the episode. It's like, what the hell's going on? Oh, John's getting his super hearing. The big thing this episode, though, we learned more about this Captain Luthor. We learned that on his Earth, there was apparently multiple Supermen that just showed up and started destroying Metropolis and the world. But also, Superman straight up murdered Lois Lane. So it's like, holy shit. The big thing, the big thing, he is not Lex Luthor. He is John Henry Irons, aka Steel. Episode 8 was very much about Lois Lane, and it showed us that she is human. Lois Lane is usually made out to be a total badass of a woman. Nothing scares her, nothing rattles her. She can handle anything. But she ended up blowing up on John, though John did something really fucking stupid, so he kind of deserved it. But she ends up going to therapy, and the miscarriage comes up. That's when we learn she had a miscarriage. It's like, whoa. What? So it was good to see Lois Lane humanized. That kind of sounds bad the way I'm like wording it, but it's just good to see her like one of us. Things bother her. Things scare her. Yes, Lois Lane is an incredibly strong woman who can handle a whole hell of a lot, but much like any human, shit can get to you. You know, the actor they got to portray, Morgan Edge, that dude has been fantastic, and it adds to the overall story of Lois's part of this series, which continues to be the best part of the show. Especially when we find out that Kyle actually took Morgan Edge's offer and is now one of the super beings, but we discover that yes, they become new people and all that shit because they have powers and they feel better, they're their best selves, but when Edge sends them on a mission, they don't remember it. So that's interesting. What's even more interesting is Morgan Edge is from another planet. So Morgan Edge is Superman's brother because Superman's mom got with this dude before she met Jor-El and had a kid, which was Morgan Edge, and what? And we find out that this machine that is like blending Kryptonian DNA is not actually doing the Kryptonian DNA, it is inserting the souls of Kryptonians inside of humans, which is okay. And Superman's mom was actually the one to invent it? I don't know. I mean, this is the first episode of this show that I was really kind of meh on, because it just kind of ended so quickly. Because, you know, Superman saves the day, and they destroy the machine, and Morgan Edge retreats, because, you know, that's what happens. It just kind of was like a blink and it's done. Though an interesting thing did happen, though, Superman's mom's soul was inserted into Lana Lang, and, they could be sowing the seeds for Lana to become Superwoman, who she was in the comics for a time. Alright, we get the origins of Superman and Lois's relationship. This was actually quite the good episode, but as it turns out, it's not actually flashback. Well, I guess it kind of is because it's inside of Clark's mind, because Morgan Edge is using something and he's in his head and he's threatening the family, and of course Superman's like, oh, don't hurt my family, and so now he's teaming with Morgan Edge and he's the Eradicator. Though the Eradicator in the comics is a completely separate character from Superman, so... But hey, there was a cool callback to the 1950 serial Superman vs. Atom Man. Or was it Atom Man vs. Superman? It was one of those, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, it was the second Superman serial, and in the serial it was Lex Luthor who was Atom Man. Here it was just some random guy who was a fucking Nazi apparently, and he really, really hates immigrants, like to the point where he's burning down their shops and shit. That was actually quite interesting, but also fun. Not the racism part, that was really fucked up, but just the callback to something that old, because Atom Man is not from the comics, he is just exclusively from that serial. To absolutely no surprise, Superman turns bad, but there's still some good in him, so he ends up becoming good again, and he is saved, and him and John Henry Irons beat Morgan Edge, and now Morgan Edge is in jail, and, what are they going to do for the last 3 episodes? But hey, Diggle continues to make the rounds because he cameoed in Superman and Lois in this episode by bringing Argus Tech to help with the current crisis. Miniseries has just put the Green Lantern ring on him already. There's a whole lot more drama with the kids and everything going on with the Lanes or the Cushings or whatever their last name is, and Lois pisses off what's her name because she won't tell the truth about what's going on. And the most interesting thing about this episode is the end, when Morgan Edge breaks out and goes up to the sun and starts absorbing it. So it looks like Morgan Edge is going to become the Eradicator, which, pretty cool, though I'm curious on how they're going to actually portray the character, because the Eradicator in the comics, completely black. And in today's day and age, you put blackface on a white actor and, well, all hell's gonna break loose. So yeah, Edge is definitely the Eradicator now. Looks very different than the comics, which, that's fine, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, trying something different. But what was kind of weird, though, is, after going through an episode where we find out how much he actually hates his holographic father, he kidnaps Jordan and turns him into his father. It's the final battle, Superman and Steel versus Morgan Edge and whoever he turns into a Kryptonian. And because it's the final battle, we all know Superman wins. That wasn't much of a surprise. But what was a surprise was John Henry Irons' daughter just shows up at the end out of nowhere. Overall, Superman and Lois is Superman done right. It is the first time in a long time Superman has truly been done right. Not only do you care about Superman, Clark Kent, but this show has created characters you actually care about, that you want to know more, you want them to succeed, you want to know what's going to happen to them. Between Lois Lane, John Henry Irons, Lana Lang, Chrissy from the newspaper, and even the twins, every single character you are invested in. Add in the great action and drama that's not tedious like The Flash, and you have the best show in the Arrowverse. Speaking of the Arrowverse, though, that is my only gripe with the show, is that it had absolutely none references to the Arrowverse as a whole. You've got all this shit going on. Why not call your cousin Kara? Call the Flash. You know these people. Call them. They can help. I guess it is what it is. I hope they do a little more connecting in season 2. One other thing, though, but this isn't the show's fault, is the CW's release schedule. They are absolutely all over the place, and it hurts the shows. I think we had 6 episodes, and then it went on a break for 2 months. 2 months! And then we got a whole bunch more episodes, and then it went on another couple of weeks break. Why all the break, CW? This is ridiculous. Other than that, again, not the show's fault. That is whoever the hell is in charge of CW scheduling. They fucking suck. Putting aside the lack of connectivity with the overall Arrowverse, I give Superman and Lois overall, season 1, 5 out of 5. It is just very, very well done. Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.